Come on, there we go. It's better for you anyway. I know you was coming through tonight. I swear I was just thinking about you. How you been? Seeing you been doing your thing. Yeah, it was overwhelming. I'm still adjusting. There's definitely an upgrade going on. Seeing a lot of shit happen. Yeah, we're adding on to the franchise. I want to make figurines, but this time I got a solid ass follow up to it. Yeah, that's all I did. I slept the last couple of days just sleeping. I don't give a fuck. Don't bother me about nothing. And this bird just sang all day long right out in front of my door. So I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy the show. Non-stop. And I know this bird. I know its song, if you will, but I couldn't keep up today. That motherfucker was hitting all kinds of crescendos and I was like, fuck it. Oh my God, I got. It's not just one bird either. But today, I guess it was they shift. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say just the birds, but they are definitely highlighted. I saw a funky interaction between a cat and a crow. Thinking, how the hell does that work? But it was kind of cool. Yeah, we'll make that down Well, it's no, you ain't got no choice. There's like 50 crows on each block. Like literally. I started this yesterday. Did a video last night where I put the skeleton together. Aluminum foil and the whatever, but this ain't gonna take long. I got a lot of clay too, so I might do a couple characters in the next few weeks. But it's definitely easier. I'm just at a loss a little bit with the tools. I've been donated a lot of them to up and coming artists and whatnot, so I'm kind of back to the basics and I'm liking it though. It's like, what can't you do with a pencil? But it's just perfect timing. It's gonna keep me still. Yeah, it's all good, but I am missing that jewelry kit right now. Especially with this one. This is gonna have a lot of add-ons. That picture is, goddamn, when did I do that shit? 2005. Goddamn, 20 years ago. And I remember where I was when I did it too. Something around there. That and the judgment card were some of the first pieces I did when I got back into it. Judgment card was the absolute first one. But I remember that time. That's when everything was really changing. I did that on my front porch sitting with my homegirl. I used to call it segment. God, this clay is great for your finger strength. Can't remember the last time I almost caught a cramp in my finger. Doing them finger push-ups in the dojo. Good Lord. Yeah, it's right there. This stuff is thick. You see, I've been digging at it. Like, it's just all muscle going on it. Trying to get this shit out. Put a little water on it. Oh, shit, what did I say? Cool, that'll work. I want this to be able to turn when it's all dry. So I can turn the head. Yeah, my teacher, he could do push-ups on his thumbs. Master Quan did push-ups in the back of the dojo on his thumbs, just like this. I only got as far as 3 fingers. 3-finger push-ups. And I can get about 15 to 20 of them in. But yeah, he fuck around, poke holes or anything. Yeah, it'll do that. I can feel it. It's not just in my fingers too, it's my forearms. Like clay is, that's another reason clay is really good to work with. It's good, people who got like carpal and shit like that. Take this off. This must have been dry. But it's not that bad. It's better than a toe cramp, I'll tell you that. Or a hamstring cramp in the middle of the night. Lord have mercy. You want to hear a nigga sing? Well, I was lucky enough to train with the last of that old head generation, the hardcore shit, before everything got really commercial. These are the motherfuckers that was flipping each other on cement floors and whatnot. So I got a lot of that old school tutelage where they put you to the ringer. It's like every day was test day. Especially Dr. Lewis. Dr. Lewis is one of my favorite teachers. Brother, him and his wife were at the dojo. But his classes were absolutely the hardest classes. a non-mandatory black belt, training class on Thanksgiving. And all we did for an hour and a half was walk in a circle, doing in a squat, like a duck walk, all around the dojo for an hour. And stand up, go back down, go around the gym, stand up. Go get the heavy bag, walk around with the heavy bag. Get back down, squat. Man, motherfuckers wasn't even trying to look at no goddamn turkey or stuffing. Just find me some Tiger Balm and a fucking bed. Yeah, I'll wait to do that. I'll wait. I want to see how this is going to dry. Because I don't want to wait till it's dry to do the detail because it'll crack if I hit it the wrong way. I get it now. Yeah, Master Quan's was one of his first dojos. He came from California all the way over to Philly to open up another studio right across the street from this. If you've been up north, you know what a Wawa is. Like, that was the spot. Sandwiches, snacks, and all that other shit. When I walked in there one day and got a free uniform and 3 free classes, then I fucked around and signed a contract without reading it. Didn't want to really go back until all the bills stopped coming in the mail. By the time that third one came, I was like, fuck it, I might as well follow through. Because the first 3 classes was hell. This is the time where I'm playing basketball every day, like running up and down the course. Yeah, so you know about that. You know, coffee, all that, hot dogs back in the day, chips 99 cents, all that shit. Back when it was lit. Late 90s and into 2000s. But I went back and it didn't take long for it to catch on. But it was definitely a different kind of conditioning. Well, the day is still good. And it's almost like yesterday anyway. But they ain't doing it like that no more. Not all of them, but a lot of them are really just commercial. Nothing wrong with that. Keeps kids out of trouble, blah, blah, blah. But they get away with shit we could have never got away with. Could have never got away with. Play ball every day. And I went to class 3 times a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. And I stayed for both classes on the weekdays and just the one class on Saturday. So by the time I started doing like the judgment card and all that, that's where my focus was. I was in some of the best shape of my life. It got to the point where the teacher had to stand on a chair to hold the pads up because I could jump. I was a really high jumper back then. Just to do flying side kicks and all that shit. So they never let you off easy. You know what I'm saying? They always made you live up to your potential. And still doing it. Ain't this a bitch? That's dry. Mind over matter. Ain't nothing like sensei telling you to get against the wall. Line you up with a black belt. Back against the wall, mind you. And told you to put your hands behind your back. This nigga hit the stopwatch. For 2 minutes, you had to do your best to take a blow. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Absolutely. Absolutely. And I really love fighting. Well, I'll say sparring for the sake of an argument. But fighting no less. That's still... He's going to be a little thick, but that's all right. And that first school had a lot of black belts. And they were big on respect. Anytime a black belt entered the floor, you must stop what you're doing, turn around and bow. I remember one day in Dr. Lewis's class, his class got real popular because he was putting it on motherfuckers, and motherfuckers wanted that smoke, right? Or so they thought. Now, these guys are only in class maybe once, twice a week. I'm in there every day, so I know the rules. I know the get down. You stand near the entranceway so you don't miss these motherfuckers coming on the floor. Well, a couple people was chatting and they missed a couple motherfuckers coming on the floor. And that day was hell to pay. He said, oh, y'all thought y'all was coming in here for some fly shit, huh? Man, we was carrying heavy bags, 2x2 the whole time. Then you drop 20 push-ups, get back up, do it again, pass it to the next person, and to the next person. Man, motherfuckers was crawling out of that shit. Didn't see half of them again. Didn't see half of them again. And I'm mad because I'm bowing to everybody. But it's one of them things where it's like that kid that gets everybody in trouble and everybody got to do push-ups kind of thing. But you be too tired to whoop somebody's ass after class. But in retrospect, they made you stronger. Yeah, Dr. Lewis was no joke. He ain't play. He was like a thick Jim Kelly. Like he wasn't fast. He wasn't flashy, but he just got to the point. And was on your ass. Don't not do something. Bad enough we got the 50 push-ups for warm up, man. You walk out of that bitch, you might have done 200 because people wasn't paying attention. Mm-hmm. It's that same shit. It was a really good reconditioning. And that was just Dr. Lewis. We had about 5 or 6 instructors consistently in that school, and everybody had their own thing. What was her name? That wasn't Catherine. It was the other black girl. But she was flexible. She had her stretched the fuck out. Like tears. She was that kind. Then you have another one who does like self-defense. You know what I mean? So your wrists are hurting and shit. Fuckers done locked your joints up the whole class. And what's wild is I've never had a fight since outside of the dojo since I started doing that. Not one fight. Knock on wood. Not if I'm wearing a joke. You got that black belt on us because you broke some goddamn bricks. You feel me? How are we gonna do that? I think we'll put a hole right there. But yeah, that's martial arts 101. It's one of the best mistakes I ever made for not reading the contract. I think tuition was like 2 G's, some shit like that. But went to my first tournament. Took first place in sparring and shit. And Master Quan took mercy on me and waived the rest of my tuition. Man, it's not as hard. Sometimes boards ain't even thick. You just gotta hit them right. And I didn't graduate from that school. I graduated from another one because I had moved. Me and my mom and my brother moved, so I went to two other schools after that. One was American Kempo, and then I got into a universal system. And when I tested at the universal place, they just put all that shit together in one test for my previous schools. Yeah, but you see them test it. I was sitting there every Saturday. I wait after class. After class, I sit there and watch the test. Every Friday, I went in there just because it was open, just to mess around. You see all these crazy things going on with these black belts. All right. Well, we got them sort of, kind of. I knew I was going to have problems with the thickness with the clay because I already made the model. It really should be about that thick. This is damn light. There we go. I'm just really... Okay, let's try it. These fingers are what's really going to set it off. And I left these loops on here on purpose so I could put string in them. Just like here, I want them to really be moving motherfuckers with that puppet shit. But they're so thin, I don't know how they're going to hold. But we're going to find out. Yeah, but that was that whole time era right there when everything started again. And I figured out who I was doing a reading for, but that strength card hit different. They're all hitting different now. Well, anyway, enough about me. What you got going on? Maybe I just code it like that. That's not bad. You said what now? Paying your phone blessings? I done switched mine. I just switched over to Mint Mobile. That shit is so much better. I can't believe I didn't do it sooner. I'm paying $30 for 3 months. That didn't turn out bad at all. Look at that. Yeah. Only thing is, this hand only has 3 fingers. This one has 4. I think I'm gonna leave it like that too. Yes, ma'am. I don't stutter about shit like that. So I don't have to worry about all that. I was paying 55 for some bullshit anyway. Like T-Mobile. This motherfucker's getting out of control out here. It's bad enough Nola's like lasting everything in the country. You could put Wi-Fi reception on that one. We got like 3 towers. Should be easy too. You can do it on your phone. Like as soon as you sign up, they could send you a download depending on what you got. Like if you got an iPhone or something like that, as long as it's compatible, it'll change your SIM card right then and there. But you can also get one in the mail. It only took like 2 days, and you just stick it in there, and you're good to go. And you can keep your old number if you want. But I said, nah, it's a new day. I don't need motherfuckers finding me. You know what I'm saying? From the past, I switched that shit up. So you tell me I'm mad about that. It's another, what, extra 120 in my pocket. Shit, more than that. Yeah, I just went through that shit. I was like, no, mm-mm. So I want you to reach out and go, nope. If you didn't get that text that first day, guess what? You can find me on Instagram. You can email me. Fucking trying to figure out where I live. Nope. I got like 7 different routes I take to get back home, and I take a different one each day. I'm telling you. You just never know no more, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you do shit that's out in the open. Coffee. Doesn't look bad at all. Yes, they do. Especially when they ain't got shit going on. Yeah. Yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, you can't be predictable like that no more. And that's saying a lot for a fixed sign. You feel me? Oh, you know. talking about. Damn, we done did an hour already. Yeah, I know. That's why I said it. I remember your fixed line too. Every time I go to the Chinese store, they be like French fries. I'm like, yep. With none of that other shit. Yeah, but this isn't his real head. This is a mask. So I'm using him because there's a couple of different guys like him. So I'm gonna do something else to create the mask. I might do like a piece of wood or something with a hook. That's why I got this little hole in the top right there. So I can just stick it right in there. It's kind of something that carried over from these 2 commissions I did back in the lockdown, 2020, some shit like that. But I did clay figures of these people's characters and shit. So now all I gotta do is get a piece of whatever, probably some of this wire, and I gotta let this dry a little bit more. And once that's dry, it'll just sit right on top, and then you can just move the head however you want it. It's kind of creepy. I like it. I gotta figure out really what he looks like underneath all this, which is why I wanted to play with it. I got a picture of it somewhere around here. All right. Yeah, it was it was damn near naked. I'm gonna let it dry. I only got a little bit left. I'm gonna redo this whole leg over here. But I like the pose. And I wanna do some more with this back. While it's still kind of wet. That's pretty dry now. I want to get like a really nasty looking spine. Mm. Yeah, getting back into it is because I took like 2 years off, mostly because we moved. But I found a new style to get into that I liked. It was kind of fun to do it all over again, start from scratch, from that white belt. Even though I could whoop just about everybody in the class, you know what I mean? It was just having that student mind. But I like I'm into more of the internal arts now. I gotta find somewhere to do qigong, and I already do tai chi and the yoga. Kind of like balances it all out for me. Yeah, it's the perspective on it. Let's see. Maybe squeeze that over there. Let's do it in segments. Okay. I'll go. Tai Chi something else. I've been doing that for years. I'm still finding shit out about that. Oh no, I'm not gonna spoil it for you. The principles of yin and yang in full effect at all times. Knowing what part of the body is empty and what part is full. Mm-mm. I would not deprive you of that journey. I say just do it. I tell you this, you gotta, if you're gonna do that, you gotta find somebody who understands energy and not just doing a damn form. Who knows the applications to it, because that makes it so much easier to know what you're doing. But the thing about it is, these applications, don't keep that. That looks funny there. It's just like any other martial arts. Every move may have at least 10 different applications. And not just standing up either. I'll put that there. And that's one of the things I liked about Sensei Paul's. Is he'd give you a class and show you a move and then have you try to figure it out. Well, honestly, I think if you just put it out there, you're going to find what you need, of course. I already had the foundation, so what I did was I went to the library and I got a video. I rented it out for 2 weeks straight and learned the form, and I've been fine-tuning it ever since. That was the difference. Looks a little weird. I should have popped this knee out a little bit more, but we can do that. I like this foot, but it's gonna come off, isn't it? You bastard. Damn it. That's fine. I'm gonna change this up anyway. And that's why I say make a skeleton first. You can just strip all this off and just start over. I'm not scared to make no mistakes with this, but I want to be good with the final product. Order scissors. Man, just the opening stance and the breathing is good, for real. I will tell you this though, that you're gonna find, what was that? The Tao, but that's a little bit more yoga. They have a pose in there for the ritual practice. They thought a motherfucker didn't know about it until I walked up in there, but I peeked it out. The study of Tantra, Tantric energy lines up very nicely with Tai Chi. The opening stance, called the Wu-Chi position, is the same stance you'll find in tantric manuals. It's really interesting when you see it. Where's my switch? So in the Wu-Chi position is like a horse stance. I'm not gonna do all that, but you hold your hands like this, like you're holding ball energy, right? It's kind of like softly your aura or your chi, but you're in a horse stance. Well, I guess I have to now. So you're like this and like this, right? But when you take this same posture to tantric practice, picture a person here doing the same thing. You know what I'm saying? And you'll see where all these arts connect. Really interesting stuff. So it gives you because the real thing about it is the visualization. You know, it's almost like having a personal guided meditation that you can switch up on, depending on how you feel. So after I learned the form itself, then I was able to play with it. Meaning some days I would do it fast and not that slow way that you see. And then I started to incorporate the elements. And then the weapons came a little bit later with the sword. And blah, blah, blah. It's just a never-ending rabbit hole. Yeah, that horse stance, it definitely is. It's I mean, in another sense, it would probably be more of a lotus, you know, legs crossed kind of thing, but the standing, and it teaches you the posture and why the posture is so important. It's it takes all the focus out of the actual act, if that makes sense, that we get caught up in, and it puts more emphasis back on the flow of energy. And this is how you know if you really got a connection with a motherfucker. Because the same thing that kills you is the same thing that heals you. The same pressure points that you strike in one direction, if you rub it the other way, it's a totally different, you know what I'm saying? It's yin and yang. But you'll see the connections in just life in general. You know what I'm saying? Those two different poles. There's really no good or evil, so to speak, even though we do have very good examples of it. But it's more of honoring the polarities, I guess. You know, because the language is different. And then you got to deal with the culture of things. Like, honestly, to say, if I told you you're a negative being, that's actually a very good compliment, because that negative polarity is the yin, or the feminine principle, you understand? So the language has changed too. You got to get rid of that conditioning, so to speak. And then that just gives you real insight on just how much we've been played with. You know what I'm saying? Just on a conditioning, false information kind of casting spells type shit. Like, even people say, call a person a thought. I'm like, damn, they done went at Tahuti. You know what I'm saying? God of wisdom became that hoe over there. And now, that's, you know what I'm saying? That's how people who've never heard of Tahuti will associate it. It's just wild. You know what I'm saying? But that's what the practice brings up for me. Getting back to the reality of it, removing the impurities, if you will, of everyday, whatever you want to call it. And it's kind of like the Mayan calendar. It puts you back on a natural time. Okay, I can live with that right there. It's not too bad. I just have to make it a little bit thick right here. Sell it. And then we're going to let this bad boy dry out. And then tomorrow, go pull out the drill set and make some cuts. Yeah, because it's really, when you keep things simple and basic, you're back in the beginning, and everything is easier. That's when things are happening for you, not to you. But you can see it, you know what I mean? Yeah, man. It's the best time to stay on it too. You know, we just had the alpha run, if you remember that. But the omega one is coming right around the corner. And I think that's part of why I'm so damn tired, because I know I went ham on them portal days. Back to 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 back. I think it's like, what, almost 10 straight portal days? Oh my God, I was a kid in the candy store. Not surprised with all the shit that's going on. Put a lot of shit out. Yeah, did you squat down even more? I kind of like that. Kind of reminds me of like Gollum from Lord of the Rings. All right, I said I was gonna stop, and I'm gonna stop. Need to wash my damn hands and get me some coffee and enjoy the rest of this night. It's chilly out here for some reason. Last 2 days have been chilly. Oh my dear, no! You're gonna have to read the book. It's almost done. I had to do a lot of revising of that backstory. But I tell you this, I say like this, just to give you kind of a premise. You know, when they say people have attachments and shit like that, well, the main character in the story is not taking none of that shit personal, because he realizes it's not that person, it's the attachment. This is the attachment. I put it to you like that. So all that stuff we learned about was kind of like condensed into a couple of these different characters. And well, that's what happens when you come up against somebody who knows what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like I tell people, I'm not aiming at you. I'm aiming at what's controlling you, kind of thing. You feel me? Don't take it personal. I'm not here for you. I'm here for it. The difference. Big difference. But as far as the little puppets and stuff like that, that's gonna that's in the prequel. That's in Fancy's prequel about how that works. Uh, See, there you go, right there. It's almost done. Just a little bit more of a fine tuning going on. Yeah, I had to do a prequel because it just fills in a lot of the blanks that I didn't get to put in the first four. The first four actually have nothing in it as far as history. It's kind of like you're just thrown into the story. You really don't know what's going on, but that's how I want you. You know what I'm saying? I kind of got to throw you into the darkest parts of it first. And everything that seems strange, the prequel kind of sums it up of why things are even going on in the first place. But yeah, that's one of them. So like I said, there's different kind of masks. So there's not just one of them. I made a couple of different characters, same body type, but different masks. You know. So that's it. I'm out of here, Britt. It was great talking to you. All my ops must have saw that. Damn moderator was in the building. Ran them off. Thank you for a night of peace. You take care of yourself, Brett. I'll talk to you.